What's the difference between an INTJ and an INTP? There are many differences between them. It's because they're judging and perceiving the world in completely different ways. Perceiving comes first for INTJs and then judgment. For INTPs, judging comes first and then perceiving. In everyday life, throughout their life, INTJs are going to be predominantly perceiving the world and forming internal abstract images. INTJs are usually going to have more information swimming around their heads than they're able to process and make judgments on. INTPs are predominantly judging the world based on what makes sense or what seems logical to them. INTPs are constantly judging the world and seeking out new information when they need it. They have usually processed all the information they have available to them. The difference between INTJs and INTPs is that INTJs are going to have more information and less processed, whereas the INTPs are going to have more processed and less information. A problem area for the INTJ is they'll have all this information and internal images in their head, but they haven't processed it enough and measured it up to reality. So these images that they have in their heads might not match up with reality, or they might be a little unrealistic. A problem area for the INTPs is they haven't expanded and brought in as enough information as they should, and so their judgments are kind of weak because they're based on little information. INTJs and INTPs appear very different in speech. The INTP is usually going to be more concise because they're trying to convey less information than the INTJ, whereas the INTJ is going to be trying to convey more information, so they might not be as concise. Another core difference is how they're coming to judgments. When judging something, the INTP looks internally according to what makes sense to them, what's logical to them. The INTJ, on the other hand, looks outward at facts, data, and evidence. Core difference number 3. The INTP looks outward, trying to take in as many patterns and connections as they can. They'll take in patterns even if they're not relevant to the situation. The INTJ is more selective about the information they take in. They're going to be more focused on the subject at hand. So INTJs will be more focused with a narrower scope, whereas INTPs will be less focused but with a broader scope. The 4th core difference, they handle their emotions very differently. Okay, so INTPs are using feeling as their 4th function. INTJs are using feeling as their 3rd function. Also, the INTJ's emotions are based internally. The INTP's emotions are based externally. Because the INTP's emotions are based externally, they're going to care more about how they affect the feelings of others than the INTJ, whose emotions are based internally. INTPs are softer in this way, letting the emotions of others affect their judgments to some extent. The INTJs are going to be more tough-minded in this way and less willing to let the emotions of others affect their judgments. So hopefully that helped you. Subscribe if you want to be notified of more MBTI videos. Leave me a comment or send me a message if you have any questions.